Have you ever watched an animated film that just, you know, completely surpassed what you expected? More than just charming, like truly felt like art.
Oh, absolutely.
Andrew Stanton's Wall-E, a film lots of us love, but maybe don't fully grasp just how revolutionary it was.
It really is a masterpiece, and that's our mission today, right? To unpack why Wall-E isn't just a great movie, but actually a huge milestone in, well, cinema history.
Okay, so what are we covering?
We'll dig into a few things. First, Stanton's own style, how he uses visuals, the themes that keep popping up, his unique kind of humor.
Right.
Then we'll look at the world Wall-E came out of, the history, the culture around it.
Makes sense.
After that, yeah, the really groundbreaking stuff, the innovations in animation, in storytelling, and finally its legacy, how it, shifted how people saw animation.
And for you listening, think of this as your shortcut, maybe. A way to get deeper into a film you might already love. We're hoping for some new insights, those aha moments about its artistry and why it still feels so relevant.
Definitely.
Okay, let's jump in. The first thing, for me anyway, is just how bold the visual storytelling is.
Oh, yeah.
Stater really went for it, didn't he? Prioritizing images, sound,
Yeah.
almost no dialogue, especially in that first, 30 minutes?
It's incredible, almost unheard of in a big modern movie.
Yeah.
And that silence, it's not just empty space, it almost becomes a character itself.
How so?
Well, it forces us, the audience, to slow down, right?
Yeah.
To watch every little gesture, listen to every sound. We kind of mirror Wall-E's own quiet life.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not just style. It's like Stanton is trusting us, the audience, to get it without words, relying purely on the animation, the sound design by Ben Burt, Thomas Newman's score. That's how you get the emotion, the laughs, the tension.
It really does make you think of the old silent film greats like Chaplin or Keaton.
Exactly. It feels like he reached back to that fundamental, universal way of telling stories visually.
How often do you see a major studio, especially in animation, take that kind of risk now and pull it off so well?
It's incredibly rare. And it just proves that you don't always need dialogue for a story to hit home universally.
And this minimalist feel carries into the themes too, doesn't it?
It does. You've got the poetic loneliness of Wall-E, this little guy on a trash planet, kind of a symbol of what we left behind.
Yeah. And then there's the love story between Wall-E and EVE, so pure, almost instinctual.
Right. And running underneath it all is that critique of, well, consumerism gone wild, the environmental damage.
Those images of Earth, they stick with you. Mountains of garbage. But it never feels like a lecture.
No, it's shown, not told. And these themes, they aren't just in Wall-E. You see echoes in Stanton's other work, like the focus on family and loss and Finding Nemo. It's part of his toolkit.
And his skill in making us care so much about non-human characters. He's kind of magical.
He's a master at it.
Wall-E himself, every beep, the way he tilts his head, how clumsy he is, you feel his curiosity, his loneliness, his tenderness for a rusty box.
He totally humanizes the inanimate. And the humor works so well, too. Some of it's situational, like Wall-E trying to figure out dancing.
Oh, yeah.
But some of it comes from those sharp contrasts, right? Like the humans on the Axiom. So obese, so passive, compared to these robots who are so full of purpose and, well, life.
It makes the robots feel like the most human characters in the film, ironically.
Yeah, absolutely. Which makes us empathize with them even more deeply.
It's almost uncomfortable, that depiction of humanity. Makes you want to get up and, I don't know, jog around the block.
Oh, yeah. But that skill, it didn't come from nowhere. We should probably touch on Stanton's journey a bit.
Good idea. Where did he come from?
Okay, so Andrew Stanton, born 65, studied film at UCLA. Then he joined Pixar really early on, back in 1990.
Wow, one of the originals.
Yeah, writer, animator. He was key on stuff like Toy Story. Then co-directed Finding Nemo, won an Oscar for writing it in 2004. So by the time he did Wall-E in 2008, he was already a huge name in animation.
And Wall-E definitely felt like a film of its moment, late 2000s.
Oh, absolutely. Think about what was going on. Lots of public anxiety about climate change, consumer culture, how much we were relying on tech.
Right, and the 2008 financial crisis was happening too. Big questions about our impact on the planet.
Exactly. So Pixar, they wanted to make something that made people think about, potentially wrecking the planet, but without being too heavy-handed or preachy, a really fine line to walk.
And they nailed it. For anyone who hasn't seen it seriously, go watch it. The basic story is, year 2805, Earth's a wasteland, totally covered in trash.
Humanity's been evacuated onto these giant luxury spaceships run by this megacorp, by and large, B&L. They left behind these cleaning robots, the Wall-E units.
And our Wally's the last one left, just
Right.
quietly doing his job, collecting little human treasures he finds in the garbage, until EVE shows up.
Right, EVE, Extraterrestrial Vegetation Evaluator. A sleek probe looking for signs of plant life. Her arrival kicks off this whole adventure that takes them up to the Axiom spaceship.
Where humanity is living in, let's say, extreme comfort and laziness.
Pretty much institutionalized laziness, yeah. But Wall-E and EVE, they end up reigniting this hope of maybe, just maybe, going back to Earth.
Okay, let's talk about the innovation side, because technically this film was a huge deal for Pixar.
Massive. Just simulating those dusty, trash-filled Earth environments. And then contrasting that with the super clean, sterile look of the Axiom. That was complex.
How'd they do it?
They developed new tech.
Huh.
Things like advanced global illumination, basically making light behave more realistically, bouncing off surfaces. That's what gives Earth that really gritty, tangible feel.
Okay.
And new particle systems, too.
Yeah.
That let them render literally thousands of individual bits of debris, dust motes, rusty cans, giving it an organic, detailed look that animation hadn't really achieved before.
Wow. But it wasn't just the tech, right? The storytelling itself was experimental.
Totally audacious.
Yeah.
That structure, mostly silent for 2 acts, then more dialogue later, it really challenged how modern movies, especially big ones, rely on constant talking.
Did that influence other filmmakers?
Oh, for sure. It showed you could build deep empathy and tension with pacing, visuals, sound design, without spelling everything out. Directors known for ambitious stuff themselves, like Darren Aronofsky or Christopher Nolan, they've pointed to Wall-E as showing how powerful minimalist storytelling can be, even in animation. It kind of gave permission to trust the audience more.
Makes you think, doesn't it? How this one film might have changed what you, listening, expect from animation now.
And its impact goes beyond just filmmaking.
Yeah, the cultural and environmental footprint.
Exactly. Wall-E gets used in schools and university courses, environmental studies, film studies, because it's such a powerful example of visual storytelling conveying a big message. It even influenced discussions about sustainability within the film industry itself.
So how was it received when it first came out? I remember it being huge.
Phenomenal. June 2008. Critics just loved it, pretty much unanimously. Like 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. Praise for its maturity, its visual beauty.
And it made money too, right?
Oh yeah, big time. Over $520 million worldwide. And crucially for animation, it won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature, obviously, but it also got nominated for Best Original Screenplay.
That's rare. That's significant.
Very significant.
Yeah.
It signals that shift in perception. And it's still relevant, isn't it? 15 years on, new generations find it on streaming. Wall-E is still this icon of, like, hope in humanity.
Yeah.
Animation festivals still celebrate it. It really helped elevate the whole genre. Before Wall-E, animation, especially family animation, often stuck to safer, lighter stories. Stanton showed it could be this deeply reflective art form, tackling serious themes.
And you see that influence now, right? Other studios exploring more complex, maybe more adult themes in animation.
Definitely. It broadened the possibilities.
So if we sum up Stanton's impact with Wall-E, it's pretty massive. He brought back silence as a powerful film language.
He wove in that ecological message so seamlessly, humanized technology in this incredibly moving way,
Inspired other filmmakers to take risks.
and just perfectly balanced this huge spectacle with real deep thought, bridged that gap between art and entertainment.
Wall-E isn't just an animation landmark. It really feels like a key piece of 21st century filmmaking, period.
It really does. A reminder of what cinema can do, inspire us, connect us to what's most important.
So here's a thought to leave you with. In our world, so shaped by tech, so worried about the environment, what hope do you find in a story where maybe the most human qualities, connection, curiosity, love, come from a little rusty robot? Maybe those are our best tools for change, after all.
Something to think about.
We definitely encourage you. Go rewatch Wall-E with all this in mind, or check out Andrew Stanton's other work.